In this video, I will show you the first operation, face milling, plus the 3 rough contouring operations. Okay, now let's go to the Mastercam. First of all, let's save the file. Okay, I will save this under desktop. Okay, save. Right, now I go to toolpath, face. Okay, the operations is exactly same as the custom base that you have gone through. So we will just follow exactly the same here. So I just click OK and go to the tool, create new tool. So in this case, I will run slightly faster because all the operations that you are quite familiar only come to certain important information I will be emphasized to you. Right, so now I include the diameter 63 and chamfer I change to 0. Enter, so you should see the tool here. Then click next, number 1, float number 6, then carbide, calculate. Okay, coolant on. Okay, for the rough sex step, I'll be using back the same value as well, which is 3%, and finished. Okay, so T1 created. Go to cut parameters. I will use zigzag as well. So between cuts, must put high speed loops, and stock to leave on floor should be 0. Now go to the depth cuts. Since it's only 0.5, so I uncheck. Linking parameter, clearance is 50 mm. Uncheck the retract. Feed plane is 5 incremental. So for this is the first side, so top of stock is 0.5 absolute and depth is 0 absolute. Okay, right, so this is about 4 pass and you can using backplot. Okay, at this moment I don't really emphasize on the timing, but of course for your interest you can check the timing here. Right, so I will check the toolpath. Okay, so it's covered entirely, then click OK. Right, invisible the toolpath. Now we will move on to the next operation, which is to machine this external profile. Okay, so before that, I will have to go to create the silhouette boundary. So go to level, create as level 11, name it as boundary. Okay, then I will go to home and change the color. I usually prefer some things that is in contrast. Then I go to wireframe, click on silhouette boundary, click on this part and selection, then OK. So this is created. Okay, at this moment you can actually invisible the solid because what I'm focusing now is actually this external profile. Okay, so go back to the toolpath, and under the toolpath we are going to use contour. Okay, so here is a chain, loop chain. So this one, I will using this first one. And then same thing, compensation direction is from right to the left. So you will have to click from right to the left. Arrow should be pointing here. Okay, so when you're clicking, I will advise you to click on the straight line if there is a choice. Okay, so please click on straight line. Do not click on the fillet or even some of the curved surface unless it is no choice. Okay, now click OK and you go to the tool, right click, create new tool, and this is flat end mill. Next, diameter 25. Okay, for this case there is tool nose radius 0.8 here, then click next. Tool number 2, number float is 2, carbide material, and calculate. Okay, now you go to coolant on. Okay, so for the rough sex step, I will be using 12. Finished. Okay, T2 created. Now go to the cut parameters, computer, left direction, and this is roughing, so there is 0.2. Depth cut, check. Rough sex step is automatically 3 mm. Okay, I do have a student ask me when do you need to use the keep tool down. Okay, the answer is as long as you see that this profile is a closed profile, okay, and your the cutter will always come back to the same point, then you are required to use keep tool down. So keep tool down will work in such that the cutter will not be retract back to the clearance, and it will from there it will still go back at that point, go down to the depth that you want. Okay, so that is called keep tool down. And lead in layout is a closed profile, then we will use perpendicular 100%, 100%, then copy left to the right. Of course, the linking parameter clearance is the same, 50, unchecked, retract, fit plane is 5, and the top of stock now, because already clear the facing, it should be 0. Okay, and for the depth, it should be absolute as well. And you know that this is dimension is 17 depth. Okay, but of course, we need to make sure it is clear. In this case, I add 1 mm extra, so negative 18. Okay. Okay, so now you can go to level and visible the solid so that you can see from the front view, okay, whether it's cut to the depth that you want with 1 mm extra. Okay, you can also remember always go back to isometric view. Okay, you can invisible the boundary once you have completed. Okay, you can using a backplot to run this profile. So let in, then cut, and it go down. This is keep tool down, then it will go down and cut to the size that you want. Okay, so it will complete until negative 18 here. Okay, right, so once you have completed this, in fact you can invisible the toolpath. Okay, actually at this moment you can also invisible the origin. Okay, if you don't feel like you want to show it. Okay, just by pressing F9, okay, you can invisible it. Right, so next thing we are going to do this wall. Okay, so same is a contour. Over here is a straight line. I just need to command the cutter move from right to the left. In this case, click Edge. Alright, so you can click on the bottom line here from right to the left and click OK. Tool, you'll be using back T2 because it's roughing. Cut parameters is computer left 0.2. Depth cut is still the same, but for this case it's because you are cutting from right to the left, so I will refrain from using keep tool down. Okay, let in let out because it's straight line, so I'm using tangent 100% length, arc should be 0. Copy to the right side, and of course linking parameter over here you can see top of stock should be 0. And because I'm clicking the line here, it's automatically show me this is negative 7. If you are not convinced with this value, you can always check back the drawing. Then 17 minus 10, so this is 7. Okay, now you can click OK. So what I want to show you here is currently you can see the cutter is only cutting straight away to the middle, where you are not able to finish the surface area here. So in this case, remember the caster base, we go to the parameter and change the multi-passes. So click on multi-passes. Indeed, I will be using back the same value that I have used in the caster base. So number, let's say I put down 2 first. Okay, we will increase 1 by 1. Then spacing, I put 20. I click OK and I regenerate. Okay, of course, I will go to simulate again. I go top view. Okay, that will be easy to judge. Okay, so what you notice here is I still cannot completely finish even though I activate the multi-passes. So in this case, not to worry, I just need to go back and increase the number to 3. Okay, then I click OK and I regenerate again. Now I backplot, run the full path again. So this is what you get. Alright, so can you see that? Now it's completely covered the entire surface. Okay, so the advice given to you is when you do multi-passes, do not straight away jump to the conclusion how many passes that you required. So do it as a try by slowly increase to 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I've completed with this. Okay, for those who like to check the timing, okay, I can let you check. This is the operation tree. Okay, right, so this is completed, and now we are going to do the slot. All right, so this slot is same, it will be still a contour. Okay, and of course some things for you to think, which one should you use. I know that this one definitely out because this is not a loop. This is also not an edged. Okay, you can either choose from partial and link edges. So for partial, in fact, it is more referring to the surface. Okay, so in this case, we will choose link edges. Okay, so I will pick the bottom edge, 1. Link means that you have to click one by one, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so this is how you're going to click. Then end up the whole things will be selected. Of course, the chain must be connected. Okay, now you are done. Click OK. You can see that I have only one chain. Now you go to the tool. In this scenario, I will be using a new tool. This tool is diameter 16, roughing and mill. So with 2 flutes. Okay, so right click, create tool. Next, 16 diameter. Next, this is number 4. Okay, the number must be created accordingly. Okay, we cannot afford to have a sequence. So number of flutes is 2. This is HSS. Okay, calculate and coolant on. Okay, so for this case, since it's a roughing tool, for the rough set step, I will still be using 12%. Then finished. Okay, then this is the T4. For the cut parameters, it will still be the same because it's roughing, computer, and 0.2 for the stock polyform wall. As for depth cut is activated, and you need 1.92 for every passes. There is no keep to down. Let in, let out, tangent. Okay, as you've seen, it's an open profile, so you tangent in, tangent out. And of course, no multi-passes. For linking parameter, you will have to make sure clearance 50, fit plane is still 5, and for top of stock, now you have to look at the profile now. Okay, remember just now when we choose, we are choosing this line. Okay, so when we're choosing this line, in fact, this is our chain. So what I can do is I can define this as a 0 increment for the depth. As for the top of this surface, okay, I can define this as 4 mm. Okay, of course, this is one of the way that you can define the top of surface, where from this chain, I need to cut 4 mm above in order to achieve the depth 0. So that is the definition. I can also use absolute. So when I'm using absolute, what do you need to input here is actually -7. And of course, absolute here will be -11 because the depth for this slot is 4 mm. Okay, this is depending on how you want to define it, and as long as the height, okay, of the cutter that is go to, okay, is according to the dimension that you want, then you are achieve the objective. All right, so over here, I just want to show you one of the alternative that you can go to is 4 mm incremental and cut down to 0 incremental. Can click OK, so you can see the 2 path generated like that. I will like to move to top view so that you can see how is the cutter move. Okay, the cutter will tangent in, then tangent out. Okay, some of you might be quite worried about this extra material. Will it be any problem? Actually, no, not an issue, because this fillet eventually will be removed, okay, by using the diameter 10 and mill. Okay, so this is not an issue at all. Right, so go to isometric view. Now we are able to click the 2 path group 1, select all the operations, and we go to simulate the 2 path. All right, so click on the verified, select the operations. Okay, now we are here and you can run the entire operations. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, the roughing for the external profile and this wall as well as the slot. Okay, so once you have done, remember, save the file. Okay, now we will proceed to the next video for the finishing operations.